So anyway, hi everyone. My name is Jiahao, CEO of Flock. Um, well, because of the origin of the angle this company is doing, is actually we're quite interested in the large language models developed in recent year, and we the company Flock we actually incorporated last year in April. Where at that time, nobody was talking about large language model. At that time, what we were thinking about is how to ensure the privacy of user data, but still can collaboratively learn a model together with decentralized devices or agents from different places, right? So it's already a traditional emerging technology in AI. It's called federated learning, FL, and then we add blockchain to it because we want it to be decentralized. That's why we have this name Flock. It's a pun, right? It's a combination of federated learning, blockchain, Flock. So yeah, and well, the vision of the company that what we're trying to do is to have those data to machine learning dividends. Well, what it means? It means that okay, so basically when you do the machine learning training, especially for these large language models or large models that you're going to fine tune, you're gonna use up a lot of data from very various different places, and then how to make it a more fair process by using blockchain. See how can I do next slide? Oh, good here. Okay, cool. So basically, yeah. So the um the angle that we're looking at this problem is data today fuels the machine learning development, of course, right? We know large language model and they use up a lot of data, and also but still big tech, they control the whole training process, they control the whole data, and they control all the evaluation process, even though they need a lot of people to do human reinforce for them to do the evaluation, but still everything is on their control. That's why there are two different angles of the problem that we're tackling. First of all, is the data privacy. So it's I mean, within our within the data that we send over to GPT, basically 1 in 3 data that we send over are like privacy concern or even PII data, right? And also, what's even worse is the amount of data that GPT can train over public data domain is only a tip of iceberg, because majority of the data is actually behind the water, basically your private data, because they can't train on your clinical records, right? They can't train on your private or chat history, because those things are not online. So what that means that what's public on the network will become more those voices will become louder when it goes to training in a general language model. So that bias will be amplified because that's the only voice they can hear heard. So basically, the voices that can be heard will always be heard, and then your voice maybe or maybe never have your presence on internet. Then the model wouldn't pick it up. So it can't be it cannot represent everyone, and even for those evaluation, of course they hire from their own regions, right? But they can't represent all the cultures because basically they don't have that culture diversity in their selection, let's say. So that's for the data privacy. So the data privacy is not only just for the privacy of yourself, but also for this unbiased model training in the future that we want to tackle. And secondly, for the profit sharing, which is a quite a thing, because last month we all know the fact that Reddit trying to charge their API, right? Why do they do that? It's because GPT generally was trained a lot on Reddit data. They crawled it and get Reddit data, and that API is free as well, anyways. So they train a lot on the data, and then OpenAI earn a lot of money, but nothing for Reddit, right? So Reddit is just a free lunch for everyone. The people post content there, and then third party took those contents, make training of their own of those data. So they don't really get those rewards by contributing those data to any training process. And also regarding their evaluation, as I say, right, it's all controlled, and then controlled by big tech, and they probably only pay like $2 per hour for people to evaluate whether this sentence is correct or wrong, right? So this whole process is not it's not a fair process, and then people who contributed are not getting what they deserve to reward. That's why we want to empower the data holders and then do the data monetization in a privacy preserving way, where in the traditional world, you still need a general model, you still need a big tech maybe stand in the middle to do the training facilitation for you guys, because that's how Google call it. Google 2017, Google called out this technology, federated learning. So today, everyone who is using Pixel phone, Google's already using your typing history to predict your next your next words or your typing habits, right? So it's quite a industry practice for Google now. But I think about this, they can only do it on Google Pixel phones. Why? Why can't they do it across with iPhones, with Motorola or Samsungs, right? Because those manufacturers, they wouldn't believe in Google, right? They can't just step in to say, oh yeah, let's join a training together. I can give up all our authentication. You can use our data. You say that you're gonna keep our privacy. You are using federated learning. So yes, I believe you. No, right? So there's no way that you can trust a third party who say they are trustworthy, right? So that's why we have blockchain join. So every training party joining this network will become one of the node in this consensus, in this decentralized security. So yeah, we don't have to have some big brother standing in the middle saying, oh, I'm facilitating the whole training process. Everyone's being genuine. Okay, you are getting 10,000 reward, you are getting 1,000 reward. So everything is then well tracked, alongside the model training and everything, then go all the way to the the end user who actually contributed to this model, even this model weights updates, right? So yeah, so basically we are doing this in our own way. So what we call machine learning in a flock way. So we have traditional federated learning. They are cool already, right? But they have their origin, let's say the origin issues. That's because they require the central node to facilitate everything. So not only Google, there are many traditional federated learning companies already, like in healthcare, like in other sectors, but they can only run within their own jurisdiction, because any other player who want to join the training, they'll have a huge doubts about, okay, whether I can really believe you, even if you say you are using federated learning, right? Because I can't see it. So that's why we have our POS, proof of stake joined, which we published a paper last year at New Rips. It's the top AI conference. Well, together with we have Richard here as well. Yeah, we both published there, and we won the best paper award. We talked about the malicious clients thing. So if it's a controlled environment with a big brother, so of course they can select good players and make sure the training is within his good bodies, right? But once you have a public training process, then there will be malicious guys join. There will be people who just want to steal your model. There will be people who just want to play evil, right? So how to conquer that? In traditional federated learning, if the malicious rate goes to 40%, basically 40% of them are evil guys, then the accuracy will decrease all the way to 70%. But then in Flockway, we have experiments and proof. Even if there are 40% of them are random guys who just playing evil, then we can still keep our industry standard accuracy at 60s, 96%. So that's our kind of innovation way how to tackle this, and why we're adding blockchain into federated learning. We're not just adding it for the sake of adding it. It's because this is solving the problem. So, and also of course it lowers barrier to monetize data. Everyone with their own machine can join the network. So we are actually going to launch our private large language model, localize the private large language model, plug-in into your browser, where you can see clearly your data never goes out of your browser, your own sandbox, but that model can then be fine-tuned to your own interest. You don't need to worry about you sending any data to OpenAI. It's gonna be next week, and for this week, of course, we have our beta launch of Block Network itself. And then that's for the tokenomics and the team, and doesn't really affects this talk today. I'll just stop it here, and thank you everyone. If you have any questions, let me know.
Cool. So that's very interesting. We'll give an opportunity for some of our live viewers to maybe ask a question. Let me check the chat. If you want to send a question that's visible in text, you can do that in the stage tab and the chat sub tab of that. I understand it's a little bit difficult. We have two different chat channels with two sub channels, and it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, if you place them in chat under stage, I'll be able to read them out loud. Yeah, and maybe I can throw something that your talk made me think about. You mentioned that, what was the percentage of people you said using ChatGPT who had privacy concerns?
Oh, that number was 1 in 3, meaning that
1 in 3?
1 in 3 of your data that you send over to OpenAI is actually your privacy data, but you just
Right,
need to be
something that
aware. Yeah.
maybe we should think more about. Okay,
Yep.
well, I'll pause my question so we can make sure we have time for this viewer question. Do you think that there is a lot of untapped compute ever since Ethereum's moved from proof of work to proof of stake? I feel that there will be a transition towards utilizing all of these GPUs for LLM models.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I guess that's what the previous speaker just talked about, decentralized training, right? Yes, yes. So actually, some of our investors, when they are reaching out to us, they were very, very much interested in this area because there are a huge amount of those ASICs and GPUs they just left over, and then they want to look for a use case in the next, let's say, a next golden age, if there is, right? So definitely, that can be a very interesting topic that many of us like entrepreneurs should be thinking about. And machine learning is really a place where that computation is not wasted, right? So if POW, let's say, if it's wasted as it's just calculating some prime numbers, but machine learning itself, at least we can get a model that's useful.
Yeah, well, that would be great. Jason H asks, would it be a good partnership to partner with a decentralized neural network? And are there synergies in decentralized neural networks with Flock?
Oh, well, of course, for the concept, of course, certainly we're happy to partnership with them. But then, in reality, the computation, the efficiency at this stage is still not good yet, right? So whether we can deploy that decentralized neural network in an efficient way that actually can solve business use cases, that's still a question mark. But for vision in the future, of course, that's somewhere that we really want to dive into, right? And Sandeep just say, I remember the paper. It was a short one. Yes, that's a short one. Yeah, we have a yes. So the short one goes only the design of the system and also the mechanism, and the full paper with experiments and everything is now just under review. So once it passed the review process, we will have them open very soon. So it's publishing in a journal, a very big one. So, and also there's 2 more of our papers following this year. So yeah.
Cool. Look forward to checking those out when they come out. So we have a couple more minutes. So yeah, I'll kind of return to what I was going to follow on in my original kind of inquiry around privacy concerns. I'm wondering if you could talk about like what you think the effective narratives are for talking to people about these privacy concerns, because I feel that often people expose themselves to privacy risks that they don't know why they should care about them, and that's often like a
Yeah, and
communication
exchange
problem.
for some convenience, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, I think
exactly,
there's a
exactly,
very, very big saying. Yeah, so I'm just compromising some of my privacy, but what I get is a huge convenience. So
exactly.
yeah, true. That's why so majority of our current relationships that our already established relationships are with finance and healthcare. So those are the industries where nobody will say, yeah, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely something very sensitive. So that's our go-to-market strategy as well. So we go with the highly sensitive industry first. But of course, for chat history, someone would think, it's fine, man. So yeah, if you think so,
that's
yeah,
fine until it's not fine, right?
yeah.
So something I've seen recently is a friend of mine was approached by a company looking for a developer to work on a therapy-based LLM, and I mean, people are using LLMs as therapists already, so they're going to do it no matter what. But yeah, there's all of these different I mean, maybe attack vector is the wrong word, but like these spaces where you're trading away more than you expect. Well, thank you very much. That was really interesting, and I really enjoyed the answers to the questions. Okay, so I've got to take you down now.